Hello everyone. This is an introduction to the OpenAltimetry tool for exploring data from NASA's satellite altimetry missions, ISAT and ISAT-2. Pointing your browser to openaltimetry.org will bring you to this landing page where you can read about the project here. To get started, click on either of these two buttons. Blue taking you to ISAT, the full ISAT dataset, and red taking you to simulated ISAT-2 dataset. Here we're going to be exploring ISAT data. The opening map has this box in the middle that tells you that you need to zoom in order to see tracks and data points. In the upper right, you see you have a choice of north polar, south polar, or cylindrical projections. This icon has to do with searching and creating annotations, which are possible after you log in. You can log in under My OpenAltimetry, this menu item, and we'll explore that in another tutorial. So to get started, I'm going to use the zoom button here. Select the zoom. Go here over the Rocky Mountains. By further zooming, we'll start displaying ground tracks and data points. These are the ISAT data tracks, and under the info button, you can see that the 8-day orbit tracks are in red, or this salmon color, and the 91-day repeat orbit tracks are in green. So in the upper left, this bar shows what percentage of the data points in the current view are being displayed, and it's 0.4%. So let's zoom in further and see what we find. Go to this region, where now 1.8% of the tracks of the track shots are being shown. But we can start querying at this point. If you click on an individual laser shot, you'll get this information about it: the campaign, the location, elevation, time, and then there's a view waveform button here, which if you click, shows you the waveform. Also, there's this link, View Track Data. And the View Track Data button takes you to a new tab, which will show you data for just that ground track. And so the ground track is here in the bright green, and the individual shots are now colored, and you can see this track is off pointing from the ground track. And now we're going to zoom in even closer to explored data. So now we see each campaign colored differently, and again the info button campaign legend will give the color coding. And now if we want to see an elevation profile from these tracks, we select a region in the upper left, draw a box, and we get an elevation profile. So mousing over any point will give you the campaign it came from, the latitude, the x-axis is latitude, and the elevation. So all the campaigns are displayed in this. We can deselect them all and then pick a particular campaign if we want. And then in the upper right, we can download the data either as a subsetted HDF file via NSIDC services or directly as a CSV table. And then you can also print the chart. But I selected a single campaign because you need to do that in order to see the waveforms coming from that campaign. If you have too many points in your plot, you will see You can only pick 20 points at a time. You see the waveforms for each point along a 20-point segment. So what you need to do is zoom. So click and drag selects a range. And if there are 20 points in that, then you can view a waveform, and that will come up in a different window. So here, the individual waveform plots, mouse over gives you the value, y-axis being volts, x-axis being actually nanoseconds, which in the plot here has been converted to distance. And so for each point, they're there, but you can view them stacked by clicking the right-hand tab. Again, you can get readout of each point, and you have a legend at the bottom. Okay, going back to the track window, you see you can reset zoom to see the full campaign. You can select all to again see all the data. Now from this view, you can say download data as CSV or as HDF. Going back to the main window, show one more feature. The select region button in this view allows you to download data from all campaigns for a given region. Again, you can do that as a CSV file or as a subsetted HDF file that is provided via services at NSIDC. This window alerts you to that fact, and if you click OK, it opens a new tab where it has submitted that request, and when the request is complete, it will be downloaded to your desktop. And one additional feature to be aware of is this time slider across the bottom. You can drag this date range to limit the data displayed to particular campaigns, which are listed here in the zoom bar. So you saw, as I move that, fewer data points are displayed, and just the campaigns encompassed by this time range will show up in any downloaded data set. Okay, that includes this portion of the Quick Start tutorial for OpenAltimetry.